this. The monetary policy statement of the Central Bank of Pakistan made 3 points yesterday. And the first is that currently, monetary policy is significantly supportive of growth. Our policy rate right now is 7%. Our expectation for inflation in the next 12 months ranges from 7 to 9%. So real interest rates are somewhere between 0 to negative 2%. Second point is that this accommodative stance of monetary policy is considered appropriate currently. The Delta virus is making its way through Pakistan currently as well. It is making the business sentiment a tad bit nervous. Inflation has largely been driven by supply side considerations. And while the economy is continuing to bounce back smartly from the negative growth previous year, we think that the costs of normalizing too soon are higher than the costs of normalizing too late. And finally, we gave forward guidance that there are two risks that we are keenly watching for. First risk has to do with the signs of any demand-led pressure on inflation. So far, we don't see much. And the second key risk is on the external front, whether our current account deficit widens more than we think that it would this coming year. A little bit of widening is healthy because Pakistan has resumed economic growth from a stabilization period earlier. But anything too much would be a cause for concern. And we said any adjustment in policy rates, which would be a normalization of the current degree of accommodation, any adjustment would be gradual and it would be measured.
So picking up on the virus concerns, first of all, Governor, how great is the capacity, is the trajectory of the virus right now in Pakistan to change the goalposts potentially in terms of the monetary outlook and your economic fortunes?
It is a serious concern on the minds of all policymakers right now. On the one hand, Pakistan's journey through COVID to date has been a journey of success. Currently, new cases in Pakistan are about 15 new cases per million of population. That's 4 times less than the average in the world right now. Pakistan also has brought down 3 previous waves of COVID. Nevertheless, as you see, this Delta variant spreads faster. And you saw the CDC also revised its guidance on masks. But more broadly, Mandy, the world, I think, has been fortunate so far that the variants discovered to date have been such that the vaccines have been effective. What if tomorrow's Gamma variant or Theta variant, variants which have not been discovered yet, what if one of these variants proves to be one that the vaccines are not effective about? That is a low probability but a high cost potential event for the global economy. And as I said, in our view, for central banks, it is important to be quite sure that these risks of sentiment are behind us before we begin to signal that we are going to normalize the accommodation in monetary policy.